Hey gaming fans, welcome to another video game review. This time we're going to look at the game Rigonauts by Engient, as you can see here on the screen. This lively music plays right through the game. It's a really fun little game that I've found here. Now, as you can see in the interface, there is plenty of missions available within this game. I've played through pretty much all of them, getting in on the last couple of missions that I'm hoping to knock out tonight, actually. Let's just jump into this mission here, just so you can see a little bit about what the game's about. First thing is, I'll just clear off this. Yep, there we go. So this is how you start into every mission. You'll see your opponent's rig, and then you'll see your own rig. Your own rig will have barely anything on it because you've got to set that up to take on your opponent. When you hit this go button up in the corner here, basically both of them go and fight. You have no control at that point, so it really is all in the strategy of how you set up your rig to take out their rig. Now, to do that, you have various weapons that you purchase in the Bob's compartment, and you also have bits to give you defences and make your rig stronger and provide platforms for you to put the guns on. The guns all have different damage types, so here we have a bullet type and here we have a cannon type. There is also flame types. And when we look at the materials that make up the opponent's rig here, you'll see that there is weaknesses down the bottom. So the weakness of concrete here is to bullets, to bombs, which come from this cannon here. So obviously the cannon's going to be a really good weapon to try and take out this rig. And also when we look at this rig, these guys pull out bullet damage and flame damage with this flame weapon here and this bullet weapon here. So we want to keep away from using wood or anything that's weak to these. In this particular instance, we actually pretty early on in the process, so we only have wood available, so we need to get rid of this guy with the flamer really quickly, so he doesn't take out our rig. Now, all of their weapons are at the front, so I'm figuring they're going to be attacking front on. Especially from the bullets. The bullets fire straight ahead, they don't lob at all. So many of the weapons in this game fire in different ways. So for instance, we can go from cannons and that sort of thing which lob. You can get mortars which fire in quite a big U-arc, and then you get guns like this which fire straight ahead. So you can defend yourself as you see fit to what your opponent has. And as you can see here, I've set up a pretty basic rig just to defend against the bullets. The flamer, we're just going to have to take that, but what we can do now is choose what you're going to shoot at first. So I'm going to go 1, 2 and 3. Now the idea is I want to take out this as quickly as possible. Right, and then when we come back to our rig, we can figure out, once we've figured out, this is what we want to do, we can point up towards the top corner here and it will list down below how many stars you're going to get by finishing this mission. So it's out of 3, you get 1 for finishing the mission, and then you get a possible of another 2 stars depending on how many materials and guns you use. If I now delete this gun here, you'll see, hang on, there we are, it pops back up to 2 stars on the guns part and 2 stars on the material. It's at the bottom of the screen there. Pretty hard to point out because as soon as I move away, well, it doesn't at the moment, but normally it just goes away. Right, let's get this cracking and see how I fare. As I say, you have absolutely no control here. You just got to sit back and hope you can cheer and jeer on your hobs as much as possible. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to be totally... Oh no, here we go. No, she's alright. So I even got that one with the full 3 stars, so yeah, that one actually took me a while to get 3 stars, and that rig I slapped together and it worked. But as you can see, you can go through and get all 3 stars within the whole within each map, so you could just pile the guns onto your rig and just blow away your opponent in some of the matches. Even doing that doesn't win you all matches, so some of them can be quite hard. But the classic system of having these stars is great. It adds replayability. Here's a cool little map I'll show you. So the opponent here has picked a flying fish. So you can see that Engient has really gone to great lengths to create some really interesting rigs for you to fight against. Now in this matchup is a flying matchup. So we've got balloons. You pop enough balloons on to get yourself flying. You don't want your balloons to get shot because you'll start dropping down, and also if balloons get shot in the wrong order, your ship will flip around in the wrong areas. Also in the flying missions, the ground is covered in mines, so you don't really want to hit the ground at all. Now my opponent with the flying fish has some bullets from here, has some cannons here, and has some fire weapons here. So I can't really avoid the fire weapons, and I've chosen not to avoid the bullet weapons, but here we have cannons. Now concrete is susceptible to cannons. What I'm going to aim to do is take out the cannons as quickly as possible. So you can see the one here, I'm going to be shooting for this weak point. The cannons will drop off, we won't have to worry about them anymore. These guys will keep free shooting at me, but what I'm hoping to do is take out all of the balloons before the fire weapons and the machine guns go through my concrete armor. So let's see how I go on here. You can also see that they have real fun with the music, with the cartoony feel of the game. And now I'm slowly taking out these balloons, and you can see the ship is falling, and we're about to hit the mines. Oh, not quite. It takes a while to get through these bone materials with only cannons. And there we go, into the mines. Go! And he's gone. Victory is ours. The paper, scissors, rock system that you saw within my review of that last little match I was in shows you that the game is quite accessible. It's pretty easy to understand. There isn't too much to it. There's 4 different weapon types and different weakness types to those weapons, so you can pick through each rig that your opponent throws up at you and see what you can do about it. These missions are interspersed with a campaign of sorts. You get a few breaks to tell you what is a fairly light-hearted story with quips from both the antagonist and the protagonist. It keeps the game moving along, and for the most part it is just a fun little campaign, nothing too serious here. It's probably obvious from this review that I really have enjoyed this game. Take it for what it is. It's a fun little romp. You've got a little bit of strategy elements. It's very accessible, so anyone can pick this up and get running, and if you really want to get hardcore into it, you have the star system to try and max out. I'm going to get back into this game and see if I can get this last mission down. It's giving me a bit of jip. I hope you enjoyed this review. Hit like if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more. Catch you all later.